I was in the garage, I figured I'd give you guys a quick little video on 4 reasons why I think independent riders are the new motorcycle club right after this.
James Hollywood, Mexico, living the dream. From the open road to the yellow's code. Biker news coming hot, about to explode. Insane throttle, burning up the night, full on rebellion, ready for the fight. Wheels keep spinning, no fear, no chains. Hollywood's calling, pumping through your veins. Insane throttle.
4 reasons why independent riders are the new motorcycle clubs. Remember the days of the roaring biker clubs. What if I told you the future of motorcycle culture isn't about massive clubs, but about individual riders forging new paths? Independents are redefining freedom and community on 2 wheels. And it's a movement you might not even realize is happening. I used to think being a biker meant riding in a pack, but my own journey revealed something far more profound. The rise of the independent isn't just a trend. It's a fundamental shift in how we connect and find freedom. This is especially true about the open road. Forget everything you thought you knew about motorcycle clubs. The old guard is finished. It's fading, and a quiet revolution is underway. Independents aren't just independents. They're architects of a brand new motorcycle community, proving that true camaraderie doesn't always need a patch. Now, the rise of the independent biker and why solitude appeals is number 1. The profound freedom and introspection found in solo riding, the ultimate escape. I've always been used to being in or around motorcycle clubs the past 30 years or so. In that time, I have never really found the joy of riding a motorcycle. It was more about the politics and the drama than it was about riding. That really never hit me until I went independent. Now I get a personalization of riding experiences, baby. I get to choose my own space, route, and destination. Never having to wait for anyone to finish what the hell they're doing at a gas station. I'm not on someone else's schedule, and I'm not looking over my shoulder. The last few rides I've been on with China Doll, everything finally came into perspective. Being an independent biker is truly the closest thing you're ever going to get to true freedom and what the sport of motorcycling is all about. It's not just the wind in your face that gives you the feeling of freedom. It's the choices you get to make that gives you the freedom. Again, choosing my own pace, destination, that has to be one of my favorite parts of being independent. My pace when I go riding is laid back. I love country roads going 45, 50 miles an hour. I do it all the time around the house. I like going the speed because I'm able to take in all the scenery. It's a whole different experience than blowing through the area at 75. I don't know what it was about pack riding, but everyone wants to redline and see who's the fastest. That wasn't riding to me. Now that I'm independent, I can make the choices on how I want to ride. And another important point on why the independent biker is the new motorcycle club is social media. That's the number 2 here. Social media is the new Clubhouse. You know, it's a place for you to share your experience without the physical proximity. It's the new phase of camaraderie, let's just be honest. Online and on-demand online forums, writing apps, and social media groups facilitate connections without formal club structure. Those forums facilitate spontaneous meetups and event-driven gatherings, replacing regular club meetings, if you will. You know, the flexibility to connect with diverse riders based on shared interests, not just geographic location or club affiliation. You know, I have a group, Insane Throttle Brotherhood of Bikers, or Biking and Brotherhood, something like that on Facebook. It has over 22,000 on it. Every day people talk about the rides, post cool biker memes. One thing I like about the group is it allows people to bond over the motorcycle and get together if people are by them. You have a ton of groups that are locally established. If you live in Chicago, they'll say, hey, Chicago Riding Group. A group that introduces people from the Chicago area to others so they can meet up. So in essence, it is the new Clubhouse, when you think about it in those type of terms. What's even better is you don't have to pay dues to participate. More importantly, you get the choice on what you're going to attend or not. The level of information and discussion is another thing that makes these online groups so much fun. I like to debate, so I'd love to see the debates on motorcycle techs, places to ride, stuff like that. So you truly do get a hell of a lot out of these groups if you get active in them. And another thing that is really reshaping the club scene and making it a more friendly, independent scene is, I hate to say it, the innovation and inclusivity that is shaping the roads. Independents are embracing niche communities. You got adventure touring, electric bikes, custom builds of all different types of brands. Not just Harleys that have, defined what a biker has been all these years. People are surprised whenever I mention it that Harley Davidsons are my least favorite motorcycle. Sure, I have one, but it's not my favorite. I have it because I was in the club scene. Now that I'm out, I no longer am restricted on the type of motorcycle I ride. I went out and got this one. I bought a 2003 Kawasaki Nomad 1500. I love this bike. Sure, it's an older year, but that's the style I like. I have a big distaste for all the motorcycles that have all this electronics. I want to be able to work on them without an engineering degree, if you will. This is totally opposite of what the younger generations want, though. They're into all that electronics. Another thing I've really seen in the last 10 years is the breakdown of traditional barriers. Welcoming of all genders, backgrounds, and riding styles. There was a time not so long ago you would never see people of different races riding together. You would have never seen a man riding next to a woman. Hell no. Hell no. But I believe it was the independents that brought that change on. In the past, it was always motorcycle clubs that would lead the change in the biker scene. This just isn't the case anymore. Another thing I have found fascinating is the influence of independents on gear trends, bike modifications, and even how bike shows are done. One of the best things that has ever happened in the biker community is many people don't wear them black vests anymore. Those leather ones. I hated them damn things. They were hot, uncomfortable, and looked pretty stupid in 100-degree weather, if you want to know. In my opinion, of course, I used to cut up a jean vest, dye it black if the club required a black vest. I just hated them that much. Now, another trend that independents really started was actually looking clean, okay? Nothing towards the old scooter trams, but I believe that change was made by independents making it go mainstream and stuff. Before then, we were looked upon as dirt. Society wanted nothing to do with bikers. Some may say that was a good thing, but when people started cleaning up, it started to change the public perception of bikers. One thing I really like is how the younger generation has taken ownership of their motorcycles. Sure, most of the younger ones are into rockets and speed, but you have to give it to them, they know how to customize them. Everything from the speed to the looks, they got a style of their own. I do believe, though, that it's the independents in the Harley scene that are leading the way as well. It used to be the clubs that came up with the new trends, and many still do, but many of the trends we're starting to see are coming from independent bikers. Or they're adding on to ideas that the clubs have done. Now this leads me to another thing. The fading roar of the old school clubs. You know, that romanticized image of the tradition motorcycle clubs, Brotherhood, rituals, strict hierarchies, are almost non-existent anymore. Sure, you see a revival of that type of thinking because of shows that came out in 2007, but eventually that's worn off, and many people are seeing clubs as drama they want nothing to do with. The cool factor has worn off. You add this into the equation and the younger generations are less drawn to rigid structures and mandatory commitments. After all, if us old guys like it or not, the younger kids are here and they're doing it their way. They utilize internet venues I talked about earlier, and they're damn good at doing it. So if people have new ways to connect to people, have the freedom to do what they want, and more importantly, don't want structure as younger people do, that's the reason the decline in club membership and the change in demographics of the new riders. Now sure, people want to look cool and look like a rebel, but it's not about doing it in a group anymore. It's all about the individual and doing it on their own terms. Do I think motorcycle clubs will ever gain interest like they once had? I'd have to honestly say no, because I don't see the trends of the youth reversing anytime soon. Add in the access to information and seeing some of the stuff that comes out in the news. I just don't see it coming back to the golden years, if you will. Motorcycle clubs have really became their worst enemy. It's a shame too. Riding in a pack did give you thrills. Side by side riding deuce. Putting your trust in the other person to not screw up. And put you on the pavement, if you will. You know, screw up, put you on that pavement. But with anything, all good things start to have a downward trajectory. This is one that I don't think will be able to be reversed. Unless TV helps bring it back. You know, you look at all the TV shows and movies, you'll see a spike in interest. Some of that interest is good and some of it's bad. One thing that it did do was bring more people into the sport of motorcycling, which is always a good thing. So, what do you think? Are independents the new motorcycle clubs? You have your say. Let's get into the debate, get into the comments section, and let's hit that subscribe button, man. It helps out the show, helps out the videos, and brings more content to you. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. I'm gonna get back to the bike, man. I gotta clean this damn thing, the freaking bugs. That's the only thing about the country, man, is the bugs. Every time you take out the bike, you gotta watch the damn thing because you got bugs all over. But we'll talk to you. See you on Biker News. Rock on.
Welcome to 1990 Chicago, where trust is a trap and betrayal runs deep. The Betrayal Chronicles real-life book series by James Hollywood Machikari drags you into the middle of the biker underworld like never before. In Power and Betrayal, a kingpin rises and falls in a storm of drugs and deceit. Then Brotherhood and Betrayal throws you into a fight for loyalty where every choice bleeds. Get the Betrayal Chronicles series now with grit, guilt, and redemption on every page. Available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Fire up your speakers for Throttle Radio, your 24/7 rock and metal station, delivering non-stop riffs and raw energy. Catch the Insanity Morning Show and more from the Insane Throttle Biker News family, plus the heaviest hits in rock and metal. Download the radio.net or online radio box apps on Google Play or the Apple App Store, or the new ThrottleRadio.com. Throttle Radio, where the road screams loud. Tune in now, 24/7 rock and metal.